People waiting.
All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. We are live here from Alice TV. This is a way of doing things that we were doing things back in 2020, but we're doing it again because we're getting ready for our big stream on June 18th. So we're getting used to setting things up and doing all the technical stuff. So we're actually live on alice.tv. We're live on YouTube, on our channel, and also on Facebook. So Mad Hatter Army coming at you. So yeah, we're just doing like a band hang. We've been doing this like every Sunday in the Mad Hatter Army for a while now. Sometimes we don't make it every Sunday, sometimes we do. But yeah, we come here to just hang out. You know, we're excited to just like chat with people. So come on to the Twitch stream, come on to the Facebook Live, come on to YouTube. We're going to try to monitor each and every one of these channels so that like we can answer any questions. But yeah, I mean, like we're just here to hang with you. So welcome to the hang, you know.
Yes, and thank you so much for your patience and love and support as we're figuring out all the technical stuff. Like Scott mentioned, we did this before during our virtual tour in 2020, but we're getting the hang of it again. Before we've just been doing this on Facebook, so now we're doing it on multi-platforms. So, but yeah, this is our Sunday hang, and hope y'all are having a good weekend. We've been prepping for the tour. I've been practicing a lot. I'm doing double duty for the Mechanismus Festival in Seattle, so I'm practicing for both Alice and for System Sin, which is exciting and awesome. So I'm like the nerdy kid looking outside going, what are you guys doing for fun this weekend? So how are you guys?
You know, Tanner was just like, you guys must be rehearsing like crazy right now.
Yes, we are absolutely rehearsing like crazy. So, but it's good. I love to practice, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Hi, Russell. Thanks so much for tuning in, and hi to John as well.
Yeah, a lot of people here. Oh wow. But yeah, so I think like we're just gonna be hanging here. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. We're happy to like get into some stuff. We did a whole crazy like AMA on the Mad Hatter Army a couple days ago on Friday, and that was like insane. I think I was like answering questions for like 12 hours or so. So that was really fun.
That is many hours of question and answering.
Many hours, yes.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, it's great to be back on Twitch too. Like the channel has been dormant for like 2 years or something now. So really stoked to get that back up and running. And if you're not on Twitch, make sure to join and check out our channel, alice.tv. So
much love back at you, Noel, by the way. And Brianna, thank you so much for tuning in. Howdy to Mark, and glad you are doing well, John. Yeah, and yeah, that's our link to alice.tv. We're getting ramped up for our next virtual stream, which we haven't done in a while. Last October, to launch our tour, we did like a huge theatrical in-person show that was also live streamed, but this is going to harken back to when we were doing our Inside Out tour in 2020. So Steve's living room. What I really love about being in that environment is that we get to interact with y'all a lot more. I can actually look at the screen and see your comments and answer questions and stuff. So, Owen, I'm so glad that helps. Owen mentioned that when he's down, he listens to Can You Hear the Stars Cry and Land of Confusion, and that means a lot. You know, I know that everybody connects with music in different ways, and it's always great to hear like which songs you guys specifically connect with. It gives us ideas too on when we're going to be out there, like which songs that we're going to be performing. So it's been helpful to hear the feedback for sure.
Yeah, for sure. yeah, we had someone in the Twitch stream ask us if we're going to be doing any more virtual concerts, like ongoing. I know for a fact we're doing the one stream is for sure happening on June 18th, and we're putting like a lot into that, so it'll be like a big old production and stuff. But yeah, other than that, if that goes good, I think we'll definitely be doing some more, maybe later this summer. I can't speak for everyone, but like I said, if it goes good, definitely do some more.
Well, and I think we all love them. So like, I don't see a reason not to do more if there's Space Spoon's time opportunity. It's just lining up all of those Space Spoons time opportunity, but we love them so much. Like Tosh was saying, like we can look at our computers and we can ticky, and it's just so nice to be able to interact in real time, even though we're performing. It's just a rad experience.
For sure. And we would love to do this like very regularly. We're limited currently by space. So Steve is kind enough to let us set up in his living room, but moving forward, we'd love to eventually have like an Alice TV studios, like an actual proper location. It'd be a lot easier because in Steve's living room, we have to kind of move aside his couches and we make couch forts and set up, and it's a very DIY operation, and it's awesome, but it's one of those things that we can't do it as regularly because it just takes so much to set it up. But we'll stream throughout the tour as much as that we can, at least to tune in and say howdy. Oh, Stevie Ray, so good to see you. And to answer Tanner's question, Tanner asked if there's any songs that we're doing that we haven't done live. We may do Time. This is our new one that's going to be on the So Below album, depending on if we can get it up to speed for live. But we've done a lot of our songs live. There's some that we don't do that often. So if you have any requests, please, by all means, like send them our way, because we have our songs that we love doing live, but we'd love to, hear back from y'all what you would like to hear too. So, and no, we are planning on doing New York City probably in 2023, like more in the early part of it. We are overdue for New England and also for New York City. So for sure we need to get back out there. We miss y'all out there.
But yeah, we are hard at work. I know like Sasha's been working a lot on some of the videos. We're working on getting a lot of the music together. Tosh and I are doing double duty during Mechanismus for a band called System Sin. So I'm actually doing some guitars and synths for that. So that should be really cool. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on. We're getting a song ready, called Time, ready for release for the 18th. So we'll hopefully have that ready to go by the time we hit the road. Yeah, there's lots going on. Also, yeah, I see Michael in the YouTube stream. Thanks for hanging out. And that's awesome. You're going to come to the Madison show. That's a really cool venue. So super stoked about that. Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. And feel free to ask more questions and anything like that as we hang out here.
Lots of Twitchers popping in to say hi. We have Dusty Chalk and Windows to Sky and Industrial Girl and Seven Castle Forest and Twilly. So it's a rad group chatting it up in here. And so yeah, if y'all have any questions, this is where my Twitch is over here. If y'all have any questions, feel free to jump on. Oh, here we go. Is Metal Moo gonna make an appearance at Bar Sinister? That would sure be something. Says Industrial Girl.
I don't know if he'll make an appearance there. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, if anything, he'll be at the merch booth, yes. Like Metal Moo is always at the merch booth, I mean, whether or not he's on stage, like he's gonna be like, selling merch. That's for sure.
He's always there to be support, And then this is a rad one too, from Windows to Sky. What is your dream concert? What would it be like?
Ooh,
That's a
right?
good question
I
because
love that question. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, it's a fun question because there's a similar question on Friday's AMA, and yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. I feel like for me, I mean, it just depends. Like if we're talking venue or bands, like the question on Friday was like, what would be like the dream bands to play with? And I had like a list of 5 like super, like, these are my fantasy bands. And then there's like bands that were probably like a little bit more realistic right now, but you never know. But I think like my super like dream fantasy would be playing a show with like 9 Inch Nails or um, there's a bunch. I think Tool, Crucifer would be amazing. Um, you know, there's some dream bands on there. But then for some like other bands that'd be cool to play with. There's actually a band called Kanga that I'm a huge fan of. She's touring heavily in Europe, or she just was like super electronic music. All right, we are live. Uh-oh. I think I heard okay, we're good. And yeah, I don't know, Sash, what's a dream concert lineup for you all?
I don't know if, I mean, there's a lot of artists that I'd love to play with, but for me, like a dream concert would be if I had a real piano, which is what I love about our live streams at Steve's, is that I actually get to play a real piano because there's nothing like it. So that would be amazing. There's the dream venues. I'd love to play like the Hollywood Bowl or Santa Barbara Bowl. And there's several venues throughout like, Pacific Northwest and East Coast. And I mean, pretty much everywhere. I'd love to make it over to Europe and Asia. There's just like lots of dreams in there, which is such a fun question. But honestly, like, I know this is going to sound super cheesy, but any show I get to play with this band is a dream. Truly, it's just my dream band. So
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
we have this fun game called This One's My Favorite. So in reference to our songs, where any song that we're playing, we're like, this one's my favorite. So I think I feel that way in general about all shows. Like I feel like there's always something special with every show that we've played. Even if it's like a tiny little show where we play to the sound guy, I'm like, hey, you remember that show where there was that really great sound guy and he hung out with us afterwards? And like the venue in Madison we're playing at, Crucible, what I love so much is that we are friends with the owner. And he's the one that books us, and he puts so much love into his venue, and it really shows. And I love playing venues where there's like communities and they really support their live music there. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Madison. Like, what a fantastic place that was. And it was the community. The community was so supportive and so beautiful. And yeah, just super awesome. I think I fall more into the dream show, like I would love to have a Foley table, so that when we have like the slapper, but then we also have like a little rattle and some shoes to walk in the snow and things like that, and finding ways to work that, it would be super fun. So, and then the kazoo, of course, because
Yeah, I mean, we have the slapper, but like, what would be the next thing that we like bring out to get?
well, we used to have a frog. Remember the frog that had like a sound on it? I would love to have another frog or a fish or any sort of creature, I suppose, that goes like, that'd be pretty rad. I am also just obsessed with the idea of having a tiny little sandbox and some shoes that I can, like, during the opening of Silent Night, I can walk the shoes in the sand like they're walking in snow, and we can hear that sound. So yeah, it's things like that. It's really wonderful, fun things. But that is ideal and super dreamy for me. Like I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, I just saw some more questions come in. Let's see, I'm scrolling up. Brian says, do you ever get to Pennsylvania? I think planning on it, Tosh. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
We are. So Gordon, our bassist, is actually from Pennsylvania, specifically in the Pittsburgh area. So we're planning on playing in Pittsburgh in the fall, working on a show in November. So unfortunately, we can't make it to Philly. I've had to be selective because trying to, it's like I'll have like a limited like window of time with all of our schedules where I'm like, okay, how many states and locations can we make it to in 3 weeks? But I've been trying to make it to as many places as possible. And then the places that we're not able to hit for one particular tour, I make a note where I'm like, okay, like John mentioned, Springfield, Missouri. We're only able to do St. Louis for this upcoming tour, but we'll definitely keep Springfield in mind for a future tour. And Frank, I actually have Fort Worth booked in October. I'll message you about the date that we have in mind. So, but we're playing at Maine at Southside again. So hopefully we can team up for shenanigans. That would be amazing.
Maine and South Side is so much fun. Like
Such
whenever
an
we
awesome
go there,
venue.
Oh yeah.
it's like the people there are amazing. And then there's like the venue staff and the sound person there. Like everyone is so cool. Like we never want to leave whenever we're there. We're like, we have to go. At the end of the night. Yeah,
And Metal Moo had his on-stage debut there, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Was that his? Yes, it was his on-stage debut
Like
down by the stockyards. Makes perfect sense. I wanted to jump back like half a conversation and just say, to be 100% sure, I'm not sure how many people know this, but I bet a bunch of you do. But Tosh does all of our tour booking, and it's just such a massive undertaking. And I just wanted to give her like a monstrous shout out, because on top of all the other work she does, here's another like 2 times the full-time jobs. So this is my holy crap, she does all the tour booking moment.
Well, thank you. It takes, as you always say, Sasha, a village. So while I do the booking part, y'all are amazing. Like Sasha does like pretty much all our visuals. So any visual things you see in Alice is like Sasha's like mastermind. Yes, her magical mastermind. And that ranges, and not just in the videos, but like visual aesthetic, the makeup, the ideas. Sasha is such a visionary. So, and she works her tail off. She is currently editing Something to Believe as we speak. Well, not literally as we speak, but as
I actually had to close it so I would stop looking at it. So I was like, walk away.
And Scott has, been hard at work with production. He's working on the Time, our song that's coming up. He's been recording all of us. We just recorded Gordon's vocals a few days ago. And then we're just waiting on Gordon's, I guess, bass and synth parts. And then the mixing will happen.
so much going on.
Yes. And Owen's asking if we're going to be playing in New Jersey, which is Scott's home state. And yes, absolutely. We're going to be hopefully aiming for like a proper New England tour. We've been asked like upstate New York, back in like the Boston area, New York. Russell was asking about West Virginia. We are playing in DC on November 5th. So that time is actually mine and Sasha's birthday times. Yes, so we will be celebrating the fall, Halloween, Day of the Dead, birthdays, October, November love in general. But November 5th for DC is confirmed. So I'm hoping that's like close to you.
Yeah.
It is kind of like a Scorpio tour now that I think about it. Like we usually leave around the switch over and get back around the switch over. Like it's pretty impressive. We have a question on the Twitch from Empty Azure that says, how did you get the amazing luck of booking a show with Stabbing Westward?
That's a great question. It's so funny. I was just telling Scott, I was like, I feel like playing with Stabbing Westward is like a rite of passage for a lot of like dark rock bands. So I feel like we have arrived in that sense. We're really good friends with Ali. He's the amazing person behind the Mechanismus community. We've been playing in Seattle with him for years now. Actually, every time we've played a show in Seattle, it's been through Ali. And I also play in System Sin. who is going to be the band right before Stabbing Westward. And so, yeah, I mean, Ali asked Alice if we were interested in playing Mechanismus, and I'm like, oh, let me think. I guess so. No, I actually kind of quietly freaked out because, you know, it's been a dream of ours to get to play this festival. Any festival really, but this particular one is so special because you know, when I played with System Sin for Mechanismus back in 2018, what I love so much is that it felt like a reunion, like so many friends, different bands that we've played with before or we're friends with. Like it was all this collection of wonderful humans in the same room where we get to be kindred spirits and share our love in art and music. It's really cool because for Mechanismus this year, Clint, the singer of System Sin, is going to be doing he's going to be helping to head up the film festival that's taking place on Saturday. So we'll get to see like one of his horror films and a lot of other goodies. Yes, can't talk. So, oh, hi, Steve. And oh, Owen wants to ask Scott, he's from Little Falls, New Jersey. He's asking where you're from.
Yeah, so I lived in Hightstown, East Windsor, so just like Central Jersey, exit 8 off the turnpike.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool that you remember like the exit.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's a big deal in New Jersey. Yeah, it's like, where are you from? You're like, well, I'm off of exit 7, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sandra, I really want to come to Louisville, actually. If you have any suggestions for places to play or bands to play with or promoters to work with, we would love it. We've never played in Kentucky, actually, either with MKIO or with Alice. So we would absolutely love to come out there. Our friends that are from there are always describing like, you know, amazing things that are happening in their communities. So yeah, we're open to suggestions. Hi, Kara's from Kansas. Sending much love to you. Sean is asking if we're playing in LA during the NAMM show. We've played NAMM before, actually, as Alice Underground, but we are not playing LA until August 13th. We're playing at Bar Sinister then.
We're gonna be out on tour during the NAMM show.
Yeah.
So I suppose we will be playing during the NAMM show, just in another town.
Yeah. Oh, and Danny is asking about the venue. I'm not sure yet, but we'll keep you posted for sure as soon as we get that confirmed.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff going on.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited about playing in Detroit, so that's cool. You'll be there, Steve. Very stoked to play there. There's so many places we haven't hit since like 2019. Like we had to cancel 4 tours after the pandemic started, which is why we like started doing a completely like virtual streaming concert series, and that was amazing. But we're also really glad to just be able to like really stretch our legs and like go even farther and get to some places we just haven't been to in a long time, like the Pacific Northwest and the Midwest, and you know, places like Detroit, Ohio, like Chicago will be there. You know, Tulsa, you know, is amazing. You know, Kara, she's like Tulsa, just as I said.
Yes.
And,
Williams is asking if we ever thought about touring Alaska, like Juneau and Anchorage. I've been to Alaska myself. I did a road trip with my family, and it was amazing. It was gorgeous. We went in the summertime, so it was so cool because the sun never really sets, and it was just, I mean, the nature was stunning. I just felt like blown away. I mean, I can't even describe it in words. It was amazing. So we'd love to figure out a tour in Canada. We actually did have like Canada dates when the 2020 pandemic hit. So there was a lot of places that we weren't able to make it to, but hopefully in the next upcoming year, we'll aim for that for sure.
That's right. We were supposed to go to Canada. Like we had, I think like 2 dates up there scheduled or something. I don't even know. But yeah, you know, things change and you got to change when things change. We pivoted and started this whole like Alice TV thing, and you know, and then that turned into like the Mad Hatter Army, which is sort of basically like our private sort of like community of fans and friends, where you can come be a Mad Hatter if you're not part of it. Strongly recommend doing it. But yeah, like everything has sort of gone full circle, and we're back to a place where we could start touring again. So it's awesome. And also now we could do the live streaming. So very stoked.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think we would have thought of it before because, and the first, or I mean, like our early live streams when we first started doing it, it was a little strange because, like, you know, when you're used to playing an actual live show, I'm not going to stare at my computer screen and be like, hold on, let me read this comment real quick. Like, that's just not how it works with a live show. Like, you're going to interact with people live, but that's something that I find like it's a great joy to get to connect with people from all over, and so many more places than, you know, we can physically reach at the same time. So yeah, that part's been really cool.
Yeah, getting to play during the live stream era, the Inside Out tour era, getting to play with people from Algeria and France and like just all over the world because we weren't limited to a location was fascinating and so cool. And I was super grateful for that, and also super grateful to be coming back out in the world. I mean, you know, living in the van down by the river, right? Like, it's just, I think it's all of our preferred lifestyle.
Yeah, we like living in vans.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Twilly, I see here that you are officially upset because we're not coming to Texas. We are. We have a Fort Worth date in the works. And we will let you know as soon as it is there. I just heard Tosh say about it.
She said.
She said.
Yes, we do have currently a Fort Worth date booked, and a San Antonio date booked. I'm going to be working on Austin for sure. And then I think we have like a handful of other slots that we have available. I'd love to make it to West Texas. That's where I'm from. So, you know, we played in Amarillo, which is close to Lubbock. Yeah, that's my home city. But I'd love to find a place like in South Texas, like deep South Texas. We haven't played in McAllen in a while, so I'm hoping like McAllen or Laredo. Yeah.
El Paso's is always fun.
Oh yeah, I think El Paso's in the works as well. So we're hoping for an El Paso date.
Do you think El Paso is, I always get like the locations mixed up as far as this exact thing is concerned, but could we get Boosty to come out?
I think we need to. I think that's important. Yes.
It's like standard now. It's like,
Pretty
Yeah.
standard.
What a treasure.
We
Boosty.
love Boosty.
yeah. BO0STY or something like that.
Yes.
Boosty.
Boosty.
Yes.
The way that it's written, it makes me think of like scary ghost voice. It says Boosty.
Cool. Yeah. So keep any questions coming, because that's what'll keep the stream and hang alive. Let's see. I want to find some fun ones from the AMA on Friday. That was sort of ridiculous.
That was very fun. There were some really, really cool questions on there. We had a lot of fun with that.
Let's see. Yeah, 118 comments. All right, here's a question. If you weren't making music, what do you think you would rather be doing instead? Or what do you think you would be doing instead?
Yeah, I was like, take that rather out.
Yeah, what would you be doing if you weren't doing music?
Music?
Different kind of music?
I think for me, well, no, Gordon said like an aeronautical engineer or something like that.
Yeah, that's what Gordon said.
I think when I was little, I wanted to be like a brain surgeon slash like astronaut.
Those two things go hand in hand.
It's like combined together. It's like, yeah.
I said biomedical researcher or like an integrative doctor or a therapist, because I really love medicine, science, and helping people. And I always dreamed about finding cures for things. So this is what makes me like the witch doctor in the band. I always bring my herbal remedies to prevent illness or address illnesses as they come along. So
Yes, and you're very good at it.
I
And it's very awesome. I think it's why we don't get sick on tour.
I try.
Yeah. Oh, Windows to Sky says like Buckaroo Banzai.
Yes.
I love Buckaroo Banzai. If I wasn't making music, what would I be doing? Gosh, I feel like I just have to sort of like set up some horseshoe, like just toss the horseshoe, right? And be like, no, wherever it lands, let's try that. You know, I love directing. I love it. Let me think. Oh, Dusty Chuck, voice acting. Yes, that would be wonderful. I love voice acting. I do. I think I'd love to be a dog trainer. You know, I would love to have
so much about dogs. It's like, it's amazing. You could
it's kind
talk
of
for hours about dogs.
that's just because I have an obsession. I'd love to have like a dog retirement home and just get all the dogs from the pound from the pound who were ancient and give them a healthy end of life and a death with dignity. So like that's definitely like a long-term goal. So just rescue all the beasts.
Really sweet.
It's a great question.
Actually, I saw today that there's a dog that's 22 years old, and I guess it's officially like the oldest dog ever.
That is ancient for a doggy.
Yeah, it's like this tiny little dog too, but he's got like a certificate and everything. Certified. Oldest
Certified
dog.
ancient dog.
At least that we know of. Maybe there might be a dog that's like 30 or 40 years old, you know, that's like the grandfather of all dogs, you know.
You can see like with the little dog walker.
Mhm.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Of course, I don't know why that's grandfathery. I'm very get off my lawn. So
yeah, I see like there's quite a few people on the Facebook chat. Somebody from Argentina, I think. Welcome. Yeah, it's hard to keep up at this point. I'm like seeing all these people. But yeah.
Danny's asking, does everyone do their own design of the war paints? Actually, that's Sasha's imaginings.
so when we were first starting out doing it, there was a lot of thought went into like who gets what designs and for what reasons, you know, and it was really fun. So, and it changes from time to time. I will say that Carl has brought his design. He's like, I love this for reasons. And so I was like, okay. And so we're running with that and trying to blend it with the Alice vibe and see how to make the two smoosh together. But yeah, I think that I think it's been a lot of fun, and they evolve like crazy. Like I was digging through old pictures from like the very first LOJ, looking at the paint, and I was like, "Whoa, this is cool too! Like maybe we should bring pieces of this back." So it just sort of morphs and grows very organically. Dusty Chalk says, if you could get bobbleheads or Funko Pops of yourselves, which would you prefer?
What's a Funko Pop? I know
I don't know. I have to Google.
I'm Googling right now too. I'm like, Funko Pop? All right, what's a Funko Pop?
I mean, I'd love to have like action figures that like they do the thing, like Steve's got drumsticks and the up, down like this, you know, like Funko Pop.
Oh yeah, it looks like a specific sort of style of thingy.
So I would just call these bobbleheads.
Yeah. I see the little green dude from Star Wars, Baby Yoda. I'd get one of those. I also want to get a cat that's like a loaf, you know, like a loaf of bread that looks like a cat, but it's actually a cat, but it has no feet.
Like like a real cat that makes a loaf?
No,
Or
like
it's just like a
like
toy
a
that
like
is
a
fluffy?
toy that like it's like a loaf of bread, but it's like a cat too. That's what I want. Mike in the Twitch stream says the first Alice album came out in 2011. Then 13th Hour was 2018. And he's wondering what was going on in between.
A lot actually. So we dove into the Alice project as a whole. Alice Underground started around that time. And so we were doing a lot of, performances like at Anime Expo. We had the opportunity to, if for those of you that are anime fans, we got to perform for the 20th anniversary of Neon Evangelion and also Cowboy Bebop, like recreating that soundtrack or excerpts from that soundtrack. So we got to do really fun stuff like that. We created an album with Alice Underground. We were doing actually a lot of like live shows in our various projects, whether it was MKIO or Bash Rock or Alice Underground. We actually even did like a whole Alice project tour where we performed with all 4 bands. And then as time continued, we realized that, our main focus was Alice. It was kind of a natural organic progression where Alice just became our focal point. We still do music and shows with the other bands, but with the 13th Hour, we were actually sitting on those songs for a little while. Like we were performing those live. And finally we were like, okay, we need to put this into actual physical form so people can listen to this at their leisure and not just when we play a live show. Same thing this is happening with As Above, So Below. Like we've been sitting on these songs since 2020. So we're really excited to actually be able to put this in physical form. So, and because it takes time to really, produce and record songs. And what's interesting is when you play them live, like they take on a life of their own. So we've been getting like ideas with our As Above, So Below album, as we're performing these songs, we're like, oh, we should incorporate this or, incorporate that. But Scott, being the producer of the music, can attest to the fact that it's a very long process to record music, especially as a DIY outfit. Like we don't outsource any of this. We do this all in-house ourselves. So as we juggle a lot of hats, we all juggle a lot of hats. It just takes a lot of time to produce the music.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like that period of time was really integral to like us growing like really further into what Alice is. Like we did spend a lot of time like doing some other projects like Alice Underground. We actually put out the last full-length release by Mankind's Obsolete during that time. So that was definitely like almost like a detour, I want to say. I hate to say it, but it sort of was, and it was a great experience and everything like that. We did some shows and all that stuff, but really like we just kept coming back to Alice. Like whatever we would do, we would end up just coming home to this band, and it was just like, okay, we need to just sort of double, triple, quadruple down. Then we started touring more heavily, and then, it just became even more apparent that like, this is just this natural thing that just seemed to be infecting us, as a collective of people, So yeah, that's sort of been the whole thing for a while now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the cool thing about letting things kind of naturally incubate is that I don't know. I mean, I think that so often we can try to rush anything really. And the nice thing about incubation is that it gives it time to just grow and marinate and develop. Like we probably would record things differently for our very first album than we would have back then. But what's cool about every album is that it's like a landmark. It's like, here's a chapter that represents our life and where we were at that time, you know, as us as people, as artists. So sometimes we get the idea like maybe we should revisit the song. We did that for End of Times. Like we recorded End of Times because the way Steve plays drums on End of Times is phenomenal. I mean, there was a lot of reasons we wanted to re-record it, but we're like, we're doing this differently so much on, you know, now. So, you know, we were inspired to re-record that one in particular.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love how that one came out too. So definitely worth it to re-record that, I think.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well,
I don't see any more questions right now.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and taking
Yeah.
the time and, you know, sharing your Sunday evening with us.
Yeah, this it's like a holiday weekend, and I'm sure we'll be back next Sunday as well. We're gonna keep trying to do this more consistently every week. So think of more questions. Tanner says, "What's for dinner?"
That's
I
a
was
good question.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
I don't know why, but I always think about tacos. You know,
That's
it
like
comes to
Scott's
mind.
go-to.
Always. I mean, you can't really go wrong.
That's true. I mean, there are dessert tacos, there's
Yeah.
savory tacos.
There's burger
tacos,
tacos,
taco
taco
tacos.
tacos. Yeah.
Yes.
Tacos that are, they call them burritos, but they're just really big tacos. So why not just have them as tacos, you know?
Mhm. Yes.
I think there's a lot of things in life that I'm like, this would be better as a taco.
Dusty Chalk says fajitas, and I'm like, of course. I mean, that fajitas is definitely like on my top 5. So
Yes.
yeah, you can make tacos out of fajitas too. I mean, you can make a fajita taco. So,
Yes.
yeah.
We're really looking forward to seeing y'all out there, those that can make it out.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful way to be able to chat in person and get to know you better and share live music. There's just nothing like it. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it and so grateful. Really grateful that y'all continue to support us and be so kind to us and each other. It's wonderful to be a part of such a special community.
Yeah, and speaking of community, since we're actually like streaming this from the Mad Hatter Army, but this is in all of our public channels right now. If you haven't yet, make sure you join the Mad Hatter Army, posting the link in all of our streams. And it's the best place to sort of like be a part of the community. Like you'll know about things before we release them publicly as well, and get a chance to like be in contests. I'll probably be starting up like another contest before the tour to like win a whole bunch of merch. So lots of fun stuff. Make sure to sign up if you're not in there.
Oh, Sunny was mentioning pancakes. It was funny. It's funny you should say that. For those of you who are new to us, our first virtual tour we called the Pancake Tour because as anyone knows who has made pancakes, there's always the first pancake, and we seem to make a lot of first pancakes during that. There's a lot of technical stuff that you have to figure out for live streams, so we called it the Pancake Tour, and actually did have pancake dinner, which was awesome. Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some pancakes on the 18th. You know.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
So thank you ahead of time for the patience.
Yeah.
Dusty says pancakes are just tacos.
Your pancakes are tacos, yes.
Pancake taco though, like you take a pancake, you put like some berries in it, add a little maple syrup, roll it up into a taco.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds like a perfect taco to me.
Pancake taco.
Pancake taco.
Genius. Oh, Mike, thank you. Mike says, I'm at least half a Luddite, so I have to say all the tech inclusion props on figuring out all the production aspects of streaming and recording, and the list goes on. Like, thank you for such a beautiful comment. That's so kind. Whew.
Yes, major props to Mr. Scott on that one. He is the mastermind behind all things tech for Alice.
Yeah, it was funny. Like even just getting this up and running, I was like, okay, I have to SSH into the server to set up the multi-streaming configuration, with a software called Nginx, and got our AWS server up and running. Like there's a lot that actually goes on. So I'm super stoked that it all works. I'm like, wow, it's actually working, cool.
Yeah, Scott's our technomancer for sure.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you on here.
And one other thing I wanted to talk about again is we're doing our New Orleans experience again. We have so far one person signed up for it, and it's basically an entire weekend where we essentially like kidnap you. Not really, but kind of. Like, we'll spend an entire 3 days in New Orleans for basically Halloween weekend. And there's a lot of fun stuff involved in that. So just hit me up if you're at all interested, and happy to like talk to you about it and stuff like that. So,
It's
this
so
is actually not a band t-shirt. It's just a shirt that I like of Cerberus.
Of what?
Cerberus, three-headed dog.
Ah, nice.
And the conversation comes back to dogs.
Yes, there you go. And Michael, we've been really good, just staying busy, working on the musics as usual. Yeah, hope you are well too. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think it is time to get back to practicing.
Get back to tacos.
Oh, yes.
Gotta get back to
Dinner and
editing.
practicing. Yes.
But I think I have to have tacos now too. Like, I think that's a thing.
Yes, it is
So-
calling. The tacos are calling.
The tacos.
Well, we hope you all have a wonderful rest of the evening and weekends and week coming up. And thank you again for tuning in.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us.
Thank y'all.
Love.
See you next week.